First off, thank you for doing this.
Of
I
course.
want to I want to just hop right in, and I'm really using this
Mhm.
just as an excuse to catch up with you, but
Ah,
it will have some structure to it because I want the audience to enjoy and learn more about you as an artist.
yes, thank you. This is
So,
awesome. I low-key did not even know that you were doing this until like because I would randomly see you post them on your account and I was like,
yeah.
what is she doing? I was like, what is this professional setup she has going on? And then when you asked me to do it, I was like, no way. It's like
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
situation.
So volumes used to just be like kind of like a passion project. It's still a passion project, but I really just wanted to grow it more and it's kind of like my therapeutic whatever like I'm what word am I trying to say? It's my
Like an outlet.
thank you. That word. So I've been like expanding it and then the people that I admire, I want them to come on and then I want to meet other people through this and learn more about other people as well through this. So
Hmm.
you were literally the first person I thought of when I did this because I was like, Akira, that's my
No.
girl. Yeah, you were the first person because number one, I know you personally, of course,
Yes,
but
yes.
you're really making some waves right now. So we're gonna we're gonna get into that. So first off, thanks for coming on, Akira. I really
Of
appreciate
course.
this. For everybody, me and Akira met some years ago on a project called The Off Brand. So shout out to Shayla Raquel for that.
Woo!
Shockingly, we played kind of nemesis. This
Yes,
um
Adrian did
yes.
and did not get along. My gosh, yeah.
And y'all, that character is so like super opposite than Akira is. And I remember you even being on set where you're like, I don't like being mean, but you
Ah,
were you were all like into the process and just seeing your process on set with your playlist and you getting in the zone and your movements. I realized you were very locked into the process stuff. So I want to go back. Another common thread me and Akira has, we're both from Bama. Technically, you're from
girl side.
Bama, but raised in Georgia, correct?
Hmm.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and a little bit about like childhood?
So, like you said, yes, I was born in Alabama, Mobile to be exact, but I have no experience in Mobile whatsoever. When I'm
Okay.
going back home to Alabama, I'm going back to Jackson, Alabama. More
Okay.
specifically, I'm going back to the Bluff. Like if you look it up on a map, nothing shows up. It just says the name of the town and there's nothing else around it. You can't order pizza out there. You
Oh,
have to drive like 25 to 30 minutes to the nearest grocery store. Like that's what I mean when I'm going back home. But when I was like my upbringing, it was in Augusta, Georgia, to be exact. And I don't know, I've just always kind of been for lack of a better term, dramatic. And, you watch movies and you see all these people on TV. Like I remember watching Kiki Palmer on True Jackson VP or China and McClain in the Tyler Perry movies. Daddy's Little Girls was like that was my stuff. My gosh. And I was like, well, if she can do it and she looks the same age as me, why can't I do it?
yeah.
And like that was just the start of my like ability to see that it could be done as a profession.
Hmm.
But it wasn't until I stopped telling people that I wanted to be a cardiovascular surgeon. That's another funny story about how that happened. I wasn't I don't know how to say this without like incriminating myself. I didn't listen the most in class. I was doing a lot more of this. So, this really mean teacher that I used to have, he found out that I wanted to be a cardiovascular surgeon. And in front of the whole class, he said, at the rate you're going, you'll never be a cardiovascular surgeon. And I cried in the middle of class. And then when I went home and I told my mom, I was like, can you believe he said that to me? And she was like, but you don't want to do that. I was like, wait, you're right about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the day I decided to stop lying to myself. I told my mom, this is what I want to pursue. She was 100% behind me. Shout out my mom. She's been so incredibly supportive
Yeah.
since literally day one. Like, God put us in such a like blessed position. She was working for herself at the time, so she was able to drive
Mhm.
me back and forth from Augusta to Atlanta to do background work of all things, like not even major roles, just like
Yeah.
back work over and over and over again. We're sleeping on the floor at like our relatives' houses, and my mom does not deserve to sleep on the floor, but it's just all of the support that I was able to get from her and just me saying it for myself that I wanted to do it. That's what
Mhm.
pushed me because I never thought that it was impossible, but coming from small towns like that,
Yes.
you always want to do it, but you don't know where to start. Everybody's always like, "So what do I do? Where do I start?" And I was like,
Hmm.
"My homegirl, Sandy, you're gonna take these photos of me." Mind you, we're both 12 years old. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a photographer." I took headshots. I applied to my first casting calls, and my mom was in support, and the rest is history.
I that just that gets me teary-eyed because
Mm,
I do understand how it is being in the space of being in a more marginalized area and to
yeah,
look on TV. And I was a Disney kid. I love Disney Channel.
same.
And I just used to look on TV and just be like, this is so cool. And that's even before I knew I wanted to even step into acting. I just would
Mhm.
always be really into seeing these people just live so out loud and funny
Yeah.
and wear cool colors and all of this. So in my research on you, because I did some little digging, yeah,
Oh,
I did like
where?
some dig.
I'm like, I don't even know if there's anything for real out there.
So I will admit, everyone, I used artificial intelligence.
Oh,
But
what did they say
something
about me?
something that touched me, and when you read something or you see something, it kind of hits your heart a little different.
Yeah.
It it said that your resume proves that your career has been a gradual climb and not overnight.
One
And
is
that
right.
hit me. Like that hit me because I understand when it's like you're trying different things and you're like, look, I'm about to go. I need to be on a set. I'm gonna go to this set. I'm gonna go to this set. I'm gonna go to this set. And then when you really start to see those wheels turning and connecting,
Yeah.
it's like, you're like, wait a minute now. I
That's
said
how
I was
I feel. That's literally how I feel. My goodness. Well, I'm gonna let you go. And then I'll say,
Akira, literally, like, when you see something, you like, oh, God was serious. Do
yeah,
you hear me? Like,
yeah,
God told me this. And he said I was going to be out here doing this, and I'm
a
doing it
while ago,
a
but
long time ago. Now,
yeah.
you tell me, in your story, how much do you owe God's guidance to what you're doing and how you go after certain projects?
So I owe everything. And when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything to God's guidance. I think that my life has been so incredibly like all the opportunities I've gotten, even down to that teacher being like, "You'll never be a cardiovascular surgeon." I would have kept lying. I'm dead
Yes.
serious. I would have kept lying if he hadn't done that. I'm not saying I owe my career to that man. Wish you the best. But had he not said that, I would have not realized for myself what business do I have lying about the career path I want to pursue
Mm,
just to save space for people who, aren't going to get me there. You
yep.
know what I mean? So I prayed, I fasted, and I really made the conscious decision to be like, Lord, if this is what you have for me, I need you to guide me like step by step.
Hmm.
And when my mom was able to go into business for herself, I was like, wow, this is all kind of like really lining up. And after that part, and I eventually like quit going to public school in order to pursue acting full time. Like I'm 16 years old at this point. I've been acting for 3 years. It's starting to get more serious. So I was like, Mama, I think I should go ahead and do like online school so I can just go ahead and get it done and, be able, because I got tired of missing class in order to, do work. So I tried the online school for a while and it was genuinely the worst 2.5 years of my life. It got so dark, Porsche. Like,
Eh.
it was. it was not good. I just can't learn that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in that time, I'm not acting and I'm not doing my schoolwork the way that I know I'm capable of doing. So I was kind of just like stuck. I was like, is this really what it takes in order to chase my dreams, so to speak?
Hmm.
So it was really me and God in that time because I just didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
So after praying and like consulting with my mom and a lot more praying, I was like, okay, we are going to finish out this year because one thing about me is I was going to graduate. I wasn't going to get my GED, like
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
against that, but I deserve to walk across that stage. So
Yep.
I told my mom, I was like, I can't do online school, but if you put me back in public school, I can put acting on the back burner
Hmm.
just this once. And
Hmm.
then after I graduate, I'm immediately going back. And
Hmm.
she was like, okay, we can do that because she wasn't going to let me quit online school. My mom, when she says I'm going to commit to something,
She's like,
she
you're
means
doing it.
you're doing that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I finished high school and it took me, I'm going to say like 4 or 5 months of me just like really grinding and
Yeah.
auditioning and taking new headshots and really putting myself out there. I was my own agent and my mom was my
Yes.
like you know firsthand about being your own agent, submitting to your own
Hmm.
calls.
Yep.
And I saw this little project called Endless. I was like, okay, I'll audition for this. And it was only because of the director of one of my first ever projects that I ever did. Her name is Zoe DeLeon. She sent me a casting call for this project called Endless. And I was like, okay, I'll audition for it. It sounds like fun. And I'm thinking like she talked me up to him because she was actually the teacher's assistant to his class while he was at film school. His name is Alexander Ullum. I think you know where I'm going with this. So I thought she had like talked me up to him and was like, "Hey, I have this girl. I think she'd be perfect." But I'm getting in the casting sessions and he is like, "So how'd you find out about this?" I'm like, "Oh, you really like me. You really think I have talent, right?" So I get to the chemistry read and all that jazz, and I booked the role, and the rest is history. I booked it like maybe 4 or 5 months after I graduated, and I told myself if it's like been a year after I graduate and I'm not where I want to be successfully, I'm going to go back to school and study sports medicine. Right? You know, I'm trying to get back into the medical field I
Yes.
don't want to do. And then I booked Endless, which now is called It Ends. And I was like, well, I'm not going
Era.
now.
Do you?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like
crazy.
speechless because it's
It's
like
crazy.
your obedience to finishing what you had going on, even though you're like, okay, I know I want to do the acting. And a
Yeah.
lot of times it's seasons in our life where it's like ebbs and flows, where it's like, okay, God, like I know you need me doing this right now, but I want to do this. I want to do
Yeah,
this.
like you told me, you showed me the vision, but it's been so long. You're like, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? So that's when you have to really start to consult him and really like listen for guidance because if it were up to me, I'd have been like, all right, let's just go back to school maybe and just
Yep.
study whatever seems easiest. But the
Hmm.
hard-headedness and my conviction was just it was too much, Portia.
Yes.
It was too much. I was like, okay, no, we're gonna finish it. And then we booked. And now I can confidently, say that I've been pursuing that same dream for, oh my gosh, it's been 10 years. It has been 10 years since I started acting, and
Uh, and
I never
see,
plan on retiring.
I think that's crazy to me. Okay. I do want to dive into It Ends in a few. I'm
Hmm.
gonna take another because I really want to do some focusing on that since I've seen the film, and I'm not gonna tell anybody about the film,
Oh,
but I just have to talk about it too.
yeah.
Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit. You know, I keep up with you on social media. I do want to chat about Intergalactic Ingenue.
Ooh, that's a fun one. That's a fun one.
So, a little bit about this, you all. I don't know much about the plot because I do want Akira to tell us about the plot. But recently, it had its premiere at ABFF, correct? In Miami.
Yes, yes, it did.
Y'all, that is huge. If you do not know what ABFF
You
is,
better look it up and
look
then
it up.
congratulate us because that's a really big feat, especially for Nathan. This was his Nathan Bowie. This is
Shout
his
out.
ever thing that he's ever directed and like kind of put out. He was he's been working on it for a while and he's now currently trying to raise money for his next film, so please go support him on that.
Okay, yes. Shout out to Nathan Bowie. Please go
Yes.
follow him. Tell us how you were introduced to Nathan and how that came up, because you know one of our other good friends is a part of that as well,
Yeah.
Diary. So,
Shout out Jairi.
shout out.
So I got introduced to Nathan through It Ends, believe it or not. I'm so serious when I say that
So this, wait a minute.
it starts here with It Ends and it
Let's talk
just
it now.
keep
We
going.
can preach that now.
Yeah.
It just you
It's the gift that
understanding
keeps on giving, I tell you.
it's endless.
It literally, yeah, literally, literally.
God is good the way he will be like, no, I need you to go to this right now because this
Yeah,
timeline later is going to be here, here, here. It's a road you'll never get off of.
I hope so.
It's
I
a
don't,
road you will never
I
get off of.
never plan on getting off this road. But no, yeah, it's really been because of It Ends and all the success that it is garnered thus far. Like just going to film festivals, like Nate, he was acquaintances with Noah, who plays Fisher in the film, and he
Mhm.
reached out to me after South by Southwest and was like, "Hey, I know it's a long shot, but would you be interested in auditioning for the film?" And I was like, "What do you mean a long shot?" That's one thing I noticed after
Uh-huh.
that's one thing I noticed after I came back from the film festivals. People thought that I was like unaccessible or like unattainable. Like
Yep.
my friends thought that I was. And I was like, guys,
How did that
we're all
that
in this.
shift feel? Like for you, me knowing you as a friend and
Mhm.
knowing how much you're not like that, like people that don't know you personally could form any type of opinion. You know, when you don't know a person, you're like, oh, they're probably like this, and they probably
Yeah,
would do this. And it's like me knowing who you are, you really enjoy the work. Like you're an actor that
definitely.
enjoys the work and like enjoys being like, no, I want to do this. This is fun. Like,
I love acting. Like I would
yes.
doing this if it wasn't like a deep-seated passion for me. You know what I mean? And especially if
Yeah.
it's something as interesting as intergalactic ingenue, I'm like, heck
This
yeah,
is
I
fun.
thought,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I know it's a long shot, but would you like to audition for our main character?" And he was talking, like, he gave me the script and he let me read it. And I was like, "I want to audition for the Hive. Like, that's what I want to audition for." And he was like, "Okay, okay. But could you also audition for Tony?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like, like whatever will get me in this film, I'm gonna do it. And I'm really glad that my audition for Tony ended up being the one to kind of like push him my way because I was also able to get Jairi on the film as well to play my love interest.
I love
And
that.
it was like I said, everything is so serendipitous. That's why I like working on stuff that gives me passion because if I hadn't worked on off brands, I would have never met Jai, I would have never met you, and he
Yes.
would have never been in my mind as like one of my first choices
Mhm.
for this next film. Like you got to put
Yep.
your friends on. So after I auditioned for that, Jai ended up getting his call, and then we did the chemistry, and I was like, obviously, we know
Yeah.
where this is gonna go. So yeah, it was such a fun experience. And Michaela, she plays Hive. She's so incredible. She's so gorgeous. She's like the most captivating person I think I've ever seen in my life, especially on screen. Like
Mhm.
she has a way of giving like humility. She has a way of humanizing this alien because when I read the
Yes.
script, I was like weird. You know what I mean? Like not so sure about that, but the way she plays the character, she makes her so vulnerable. And it makes you feel so bad. It actually ends up making James, who Jai plays, he's like the villain in our story.
I
And
love that.
I was like, only Michaela could have done that. You know what I mean? But no, it's an incredible story. Nathan wrote such a layered film. And for something so intergalactic, like I said, it's so in a like emotional. You know what I mean? And I
I
hope
like
everybody watches that.
the steals from it. First off, I love a good weird
Yeah.
script. I love like scripts where it's like, okay, this truly came from your brain. Like nobody
Yeah,
else
I
wrote this.
never. never seen something like this before, especially not something kind of like positioned as a love triangle, so to speak. Maybe I haven't been looking in the right places, but this felt very unique to me. I
Yeah.
was like, I gotta get in here.
I'm really excited to be able to check that out because of course I've been seeing like the clips and like the BTS from it, and I'm just like, this looks, I think what I'm loving what you're doing, you're giving me range with the type of stuff you're going for.
Thank
It's
you.
giving range, and I think that's really important as an actor. Um, you keep people guessing, and in the position you're in right now, being more so of emerging, but
Mm.
I mean, we here, but you get what I'm saying. It's like
I understand.
the world is getting to know you more in different markets now. So it's like
Mhm.
I think you're gonna keep like throwing them curveballs with the type of roles that you're taking on.
I
And I'm
intend
really
to.
excited about that. Okay,
Thank you.
so let's talk the thing that you've been talking about that I do want to dive into. It ends. Let's talk it ends.
Let's talk about it.
So it ends had a very fantastic start last year
Hmm.
when it premiered at South by Southwest in March of 2025, correct?
Yes, that doesn't even sound like a real sentence. Like that's so crazy.
South by Southwest. And if you don't
Hmm.
know that, y'all, Google that. Google that.
Yeah,
First off, I know me in the position I am as an actor, my biggest dream is to really be in that film festival circuit and
yeah.
really the film festivals is where it's at, y'all. Like if you get
That's
that,
where the real film lovers go. Like you're not forced to be there. The people who want to be there, they pay to be there. It's
yes,
film lovers, directors, writers. It's an amazing environment.
how was that? Okay, first off, you play the role of Day.
I do.
I've I've seen the film, everyone, and I literally was so proud of Akira. Because it just, I love those performances that are layered, that are charismatic, that are, it's like you know this person and you love this person. Day is very lovable. And
I
Day is lovable, laughable, warm. To me, in my opinion, Day is kind of like, without telling much, this is just my opinion on what I took from it. Day is a good glue to what we're working with. Um, that feminine presence there.
That's really
You
sweet.
know, that feminine presence, it's like it brings, it rounds everything out very nicely, and I just love what you did with that. Tell the people a little bit about the story with what you can tell, and then we're gonna tell the good news about it after you say that, about what's happening this year with It Ends.
Okay, so you want me to talk more about like the actual like storyline or more about like the
You can talk process,
Mhm.
like how long it took for you all to film it, um,
Okay.
character process with Day, and then anything else you want to tell us about just the plot that you can say.
Okay, so I'll get into like more of the plot stuff, what I can say a
Yeah,
little later,
yeah,
but I'll start from the beginning because I already kind of like touched on it a little bit in the earlier questions, but yeah, Zoe, she hit me up, told me to audition for this film. I get pretty far in the casting process and I figure out that it's actually genuine. They genuinely like what I did with the character.
yeah.
Even after my mom and all of her countryness is my reader. Like I went back and watched those audition tapes and I'm like, how did they see past this? It was like I don't hear my mom's accent until I listen back to it or
Yeah.
like my own accent and I'm like there's no way. Like that's how I know God was in that casting room because I was like wow. But yeah, so I get pretty far into the casting process and I'm thinking I'm like I've had like 4 or 5 auditions now. I think I got it in the
Mhm.
bag, right? And we're getting to the chemistries. We have Finn, Noah, and Mitch in there. And Alex is just eating this up. He's like, yeah, this is our group. And then after our last session, I don't hear back. And I'm like,
Oh,
okay. But you know how I am, very spiritual, like I
yeah.
kind of prayed about it. I was like, Lord, if this is for me, I accept it with open arms. If it's not, I need peace to move on because I had so much fun in the casting process, right? So couple weeks go by. I don't really hear anything, but Alex had told me in one of our like personal one-on-one sessions, he was like, "Hey, I think you should watch these movies to get prepared for the character." He told me to watch. I think it was Dazed and Confused. I think he told me to watch the movie Akira, the anime, and a couple other movies. And I'm just sitting there like living my life. And one thing about me is I have a hard time not like stewing in the waiting process because you can get so, oh, I wonder when they're going to call. You need to be able to move on. You got to kind of set it and forget it. If you give it to God, that's what you have to do. You can't sit there and worry about it. So I'm just going on about my life and I'm like, you know what? I haven't heard back, but let me go ahead and watch these movies. And the feeling that I was feeling like in the pit of my stomach wasn't like you didn't get it. It was like they're still waiting. I'm still just like waiting. And I kid you not, I finished watching Akira. I'm writing down how I felt about it in my diary. And then I get a call from Alex. How fast can you get to Florida? And I was like, tomorrow? Mind you, didn't know if my mom didn't have to work, didn't know if she had meetings, didn't know if she had gas in the tank. I was just like, I can get there tomorrow for sure. And then he was like, "Okay, great. We can do whatever we need to do to get you here. Like, do you need to fly?" I was like, "No, I can drive. I'm in Georgia." And he was like, "Okay, we'll have our first AD and his little sister come pick you up in their dad's truck." The beauty of indie filmmaking, you guys. So here's where it gets more serendipitous. We drive to Perry, Georgia, which is exactly in the middle of Tallahassee and Augusta. And my grandparents just so happened to live there. I was like, okay. So we get there and I'm waiting for them and they take me all the way to Florida to Tallahassee. We get to the cast house and I'm meeting everybody and I just like I feel a wave of relief wash over me. It's like when you're living in an answered prayer, you're like so I did it. Like I had faith, but it's like oh my gosh, it's actually happening. Like I was looking at like my castmates in the crew and I was just like, wow. I think this feels really right. It feels like I'm in the right timeline, so to speak. And we start filming it, mind you, this was in 2022. Guys, it's about to be 2027, so we are working on many years of filming this movie. We went through about 3 rounds. The first round, we finished the entire movie. Alex was like, this is okay, but it can be better. He's a bit of a perfectionist, and understandably, this is his first ever feature film. This is his baby, so he wants it to be perfect. And then the second round, we came back and we did reshoots and we didn't get paid. We did this because we're like friends at this point. We've formed a bond. I feel like I actually grew on this film. I was 19 years old when we started filming. I'm about to be 23. Like, I have truly come of age on this coming of age film. And we come back the second time, we're doing it for free, and then we get picked up by Snoot and they give us a little bit of money on, and we come back and do it for the third time, and the rest is history.
I remember when you originally told me that it literally took y'all over like years of time. And that was
Yeah.
so intriguing to me because it's like I see projects when they cast and they're like, okay, we'll be shooting for these weekends of June. And I usually run from stuff like that because, of course, my home setup, with my
Yeah.
family and stuff. So I don't really have that flexibility to do things like that. But I
Hmm.
think that even shows more of y'all's mastery of the characters. Y'all were able to come to these characters and then step away from it and then have to come back to them. How was that process?
It was like watching football highlights because we had the entire movie to go off of, and thank God we did because I saw like my progression as an actor. Like I developed an actual process on this film. Shout out
Mhm.
Noah. He was incredibly in tune with his character Fisher, and seeing him made me like buck up and be like, "Yo, I'm not doing enough." Like because mind you, I came in last minute
Uh-huh.
been filming for a while and then they were like, we need to pivot. So I came in, I didn't know anything about this character. I had not read the script, like had not read the script. I was using the memory God gave me and my natural abilities to try and fill out this character before we filmed. So by the third round of filming, I was like, I know Day like the back of my hand. I was able to collaborate a lot more. I was able to be like, she wouldn't do that. I had the confidence to
Yeah.
say that. And it's only because of these other 2 rounds of filming where we could, grade ourselves, and just really get into the characters, work on our chemistry, work on our connection with each other, with the characters. It was and like learn the dynamics of each other and how we work with the director and the rest of the cast and crew. So
I
really
think
big learning experience.
that added like a freeness to how you played the character.
Mm,
Me even knowing that now of how you came in there, it was such like a freedom to her. I think sometimes with actors, you can either see someone really trying to hit marks and like, okay, I'm hitting this and hitting this and
yeah,
hitting this. But I think you literally knowing that God is like, okay, look, I want you a part of this movie. You probably that probably fueled you even more to just be like, okay,
definitely.
let's just do this.
Definitely. There's
Yep.
nothing more free than not knowing anything, but that God wants you there. I'm like, well, yeah, I already got the role. They know I can act. Now it's just time for me to get better and, and do
Yes.
the job. Like, I
Yes.
just have to do the job.
Yes.
But throughout this time of filming, I was able to, like, truly learn a process that I carry with me to this very day, that being 4 years ago.
Yes.
So, without that time and that freeness that I came in with, I wasn't like I was able to be like malleable and kind of
Mhm.
like soak up all the other like techniques around me, especially from Noah. And now I think I'm a pretty solidified actor, especially with my process that I have going on.
I love that, Akira. Like, okay, we can tell them the good news. So what will be happening with It Ends very soon?
So very soon It Ends will be coming to theaters August 21st, and everybody will be able to see it. It's been a long time coming. Like I just want to say thank you to Letterbox, thank you to Neon, thank you to God, and just thank you to all of the supporters for really, really, really rocking with us, even when we were
Yes.
uncertain if we were going to get anywhere outside of the film festival circuit. Like, it was really, and thank you, Kit Laser, like everybody like rallying behind us, reviewing this, posting it on their socials, trying to buzz up, you know, motion for the movie when we
Yes.
thought that we weren't gonna really do much. Not me though. I already knew.
Yes.
I knew from day one that this was going to be something special. So whenever, it felt like a little bit of a lull in attention or motion, so to speak, I was like, I just have to wait and have faith in this. And then the community of indie filmmakers and just like indie film lovers, they really rallied behind us. And that was so confirming for me. I'm like, we have an audience, we have people who are gonna love the movie, and we have filmmakers who are going to see this movie and know that they can do it for themselves.
Yes. I would say like I've seen so much support behind it, but after seeing
Yeah,
it, I feel like the film deserves that support. It's not just like a big mass of people like, go watch this. It really deserves the support. And I'm not just saying that because you're in it. Um, I'm always a fan of like, I just think it's so fun to watch young people handle a serious
yeah,
situation because usually young people don't really know like any sense of how to wisely handle things usually. So it adds like a different layer of fun to see, okay, what will these people do, in
yeah,
different situations. So I think
yeah.
that's what makes coming of age vibes really, really cool. And you all did an amazing, 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 amazing job. What do you have, Akira, coming up? Do you have anything that you're working on now or in pre-pro that you can talk about?
Right now, I am just focusing on me and fulfilling myself creatively. There's things happening behind the
I
scenes,
feel
but
like you're keeping secrets from us.
I don't know. I really don't know. Um, Without speaking too prematurely, there are some roles coming up, and I'm
Excited.
very excited about them. But most of all, I'm very excited for It Ends finally being in the world, and I can truly say that the thing I've been filming for the last 4 years is
Yes.
actually coming and it's going to be here and tangible. So Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm focusing and grinding and I'm gonna keep riding this wave and I hope you guys will all be there to support me.
I'm excited. I'm so excited because I can see what God has ahead of you. I don't know the exact steps that He's going to lead you, with, but I can, like, I talk to my family about you and brag on you because it's like I can tell that number one, because God is first with you, you will not fail. But now adding the layer of talent being in there too,
Oh, thank
you
you.
can't fail with that. So I'm really, really excited to see what your journey is going to look like. I want you to continue to be the person that you are and just continue to be in that space that you remain the great person that you are with all of the blessings that are going to come your way because they're coming. So all you
I
have to
really
do is just
appreciate
be
that.
in that time, be in that space. I appreciate you coming on here, taking this time.
And thank you so much for inviting me and just pouring into me. I feel like you fill my cup so immensely every time we talk to each other, even though it's not often. Like, I see you and I still get inspired. Like, Nugget Mama is killing it with a family. I might add, like, you you are such an inspiration to me and you have been since the off brand. So I just want to let you know that I thank you for being in my tribe, being in my circle, so that when I am, having all of these blessings come my way, I can still look to you for advice or just a friendly face to talk to when I need to.
Of
So
course.
thank you for that, and thank you for having me on Volumes.
Of course, Akira. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for sitting in with the amazing Akira Jackson, and we will see you next week.